You want to go cook?
Hi, hello, younger me. Back in 2018, we launched Wiki Kitchen in the UK in Tesco, and one of the items was this amazing Italian-style cold cut sub. Today, on this special episode, I'm going to show how to make it at home.
Let's go cook. Come on.
This recipe is made with mighty root vegetables and is next level for all the whole foods, no oil optional recipes. And you can easily make it gluten-free if you switch out the bread. For the Capicola, we're going to use Swede or Rutabaga for my North American friends. It's a cross between a cabbage and a turnip. It's sweet and earth tone flavors, texture similar to potatoes, but without the starch. For the pepperoni, we're going to use celery root, also called celeriac. It's a round, gnarly, knobby looking root vegetable with light brown color, rough skin, and a creamy white aromatic flesh inside. We're going to hot box these vegetables. And to do that, we're going to have to prep them up. So you're going to form a light coat of oil onto the veg. And this oil is used for function and optimal cooking quality. It'll help crisp the skin and seal in the natural juices. Always be mindful. Hold on to your stuff. Have you ever seen Mystery Science Theater? I kind of wish, or maybe I'll just start doing voiceovers like that, because it's hilarious to watch yourself cook. Honestly, I just want to critique. Kind of like all the other schmucks that just make stupid comments onto YouTube videos. I mean, my mom always taught me, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Constructive feedback is one thing. Negative and rude comments are another. So I appreciate all of you who leave nice comments, kind comments, constructive comments. I appreciate you very much. So back in that pot, all I did was take some extra carrots. I put the carrots on the bottom because I don't want the celery root and the Swede to touch the bottom. I don't want any burnt areas. So if you place the carrots on the bottom as a base, and then I used potatoes. I just filled in the gaps because who doesn't like eating potatoes? I certainly love them. And to have a few extra cooked riding along in this recipe, why not? So then it's field trip time out into the garden with Frankie. Grab some herbs for the marinade, some fresh oregano, and some thyme. And just, by the way, in the oven, we'll have the full recipe below and on our website. But this took me in the oven for about 90 minutes. I checked it halfway at about 45 minutes, 60 minutes, and it wasn't done. So the optimum time for this is 90 minutes, but it might vary for the size of celery root and rutabaga and how your oven works. So always check about 45 minutes into it. This is also a weekend project or weekday. I mean, depending on how much you love to cook, and I love to cook. It took me a total of 2 days. So after you hotbox the veg, this is amazing. You pull it out, that steam, it smells so freaking good. I check it again. This is when I realize it's done. So when that skewer can pass very easily through, and a little bit of resistance, but not too much, because there will be some carryover cooking. So I'm just going to assemble them on this sheet pan, keep them separate from each other so they cool correctly, and then they're going to go in the refrigerator. You can leave them in, if you have a high power blast chiller like at work, then definitely use that. You'll be done in an hour. But for us home folks, it takes about a day. They need to cool completely in order to slice them thin without breaking apart. And that's if you don't overcook them. So try to keep them still firm and al dente. These, I believe, came out perfect. And the carrots are an amazing snack. I cooked an extra bunch of them for Frankie. She loves them. I give them to her all the time. And then the potatoes, she can also eat, and I eat them. I like to eat the potatoes like this once they cool enough, just like an apple. Put a little salt on it. It is a delicious, healthy snack. That brings me to the sponsor of this episode. It's Wiki Kitchen. So we're launching these amazing new mac and cheeses into America, into Kroger stores This smoky picnic mac and cheese, delicious. When I was a kid, I used to come home. This was one of the first things I learned how to make, except that was loaded with butter and cream and milk, whatever that was. But I don't eat that anymore. So these other mac and cheeses, you can use plant-based butter and plant-based milk. Delicious alternative. All right, we're ready to build our marinades. So the spices for the pepperoni using the celery root, we're going to add all to a bowl, and we're also going to toast and grind some of the seeds. The best way to pull out flavor is to toast herbs. So I like to toast them in their whole form. So fennel seeds, we're going to have white peppercorns and black peppercorns. The aroma is amazing. You're going to just toast them long enough, not too long, just long enough to brown. You have to keep an eye on these because they burn quick. So now we're going to use the trusty old pestle and mortar and really crush these beasts. So handy tip I learned in Thailand from a friend of mine, have a little towel underneath your mortar when you're driving that pestle into it. It helps with the chitter chatter and also doesn't vibrate all over the place. Once you have those crushed, you're going to add about 3 tablespoons to the marinade along with the fresh herbs. And then I just like to mix a little boiling water in to loosen it up. So it's a total of a cup, maybe 230 milliliters. Boiling water because it'll help draw out the flavors of the other dried spices and herbs. And then I add a little bit of soy sauce for the added color. The written recipe is below, so if you think I'm leaving anything out, just refer to the recipe below. So now we're going to skin the celeriac and the Swede, and I'm just taking off the lighter skin, so this is why I think it's cool. If you're a no oil person who doesn't like to use oil or is limiting that, it's fine to rub the vegetables because you're removing it and use it as a function, not as an ingredient. So we're just going to continue to peel the skins off, and here's an opportunity to tell you that Swedes are not only great in fiber, they have a lot of fiber, vitamin C and potassium, super rich in nutrients. That's why I love using just veg, like whole vegetables for the mains. And the main characters of this whole story here is the Swede or Rutabaga, aka it's kind of like a spy. Same with celery root, also called celeriac. These are the major stars in this episode. So I'm busting out the mandolin. Since I was a kid and I learned how to use one of these things, super dangerous by the way, I have always had one of this kind. This is a French mandolin. There's Japanese ones, there's ones made of plastic. I think my brother uses one of those. I like the stainless steel French mandolin. It's just something I always bring with me or get a new one if I have a new job. They're amazing. They're just super dangerous. I'm a professional cook. I know how to use one. I use it slowly. I've seen people take their fingers off. So be careful if you use one of these or any kind of mandolin or a knife, whatever. Just be super mindful of what you're doing. So I do like to use it at home or in a work situation. I prefer to use a slicer or a meat slicer. So I used to own a deli back in the late 90s. I'm dating myself. Where we made tons of sandwiches, and this was one of them. We used to have the Italian sub on the menu. So I'm just emulating that. When I became vegan, I didn't want to give anything up as far as the coolness of cooking, the taste, the textures. I'm just applying everything I used to know about cooking meat and doing it to vegetables. And it's awesome. So once you get them nice and thin, you're just going to mix in the marinade with them. And you want to make sure you coat every single piece. So I'm using a couple different containers where I go back and forth because I'm taking each one and making sure each one is marinated. And same thing for the rutabaga. We're going to slice it super careful on the mandolin, super thin. Check this out. Like if you get the density right in the vegetable from the hotboxing it. I love that word, hotboxing. I love hotboxing vegetables. It's an amazing technique. That's why it's crucial not to overcook them. So undercook slightly, Al dente, perfect. Overcooked, not so good. They won't get these slices. And this is just amazing. Now you can season these up any way you want. Today we're doing a Capicola style marinade. So in any Italian sub I've had, it had Capicola ham, it had pepperoni, it had other things, but I'm just sticking with these two. And this, you're going to love this recipe if you make it. It's amazing. So add the seasonings to a mortar and pestle. For this one, I'm going to grind them all up. There's cloves in there, the bay leaves. You're going to add a little bit of salt in a second, and then also a little bit of sugar. And using a mortar and pestle is pretty awesome. It really does make a difference as far as grinding up those seeds and spices. It makes a huge difference. I would recommend it. With the slices, same thing. We're going to add the dry spices to a bowl. And this one, I'm going to use the pickle juice from pepperoncinis or green chili peppers here and use that as the liquid. So it's going to be a brinish, super flavorful, super good marinade. And we're going to let these marinate, the celery root and the rutabaga, for at least an hour. The longer you marinate, the better the tasting. And as I mentioned, there's so many versatile things to do with these vegetable cold cuts. You can smoke them on the smoker, and they make an amazing substitute smoked meat. Give that a try if you got it. Now we're going to just prep up everything for the sandwiches, get all our mise en place ready, set to go. So when we do assemble, everything's right in front of us, just like at the deli. So for paper thin onions, I do use a mandolin. Again, you don't have to, but to level up the professional restaurant quality, shave your onions paper thin, then rinse them in super cold water and store them in the fridge. They're amazing. Now we're also going to be adding hots because I love hots. I always eat my subs with hots on them. And here they're called green chilies. And also pickles, but here they're called gherkins. It's very fun learning all these new words in a new country, in a new atmosphere, some new foods. How amazing is it? It's amazing. So, quick dice on each of these. Put them in a container on the side, getting ready to go. Yeah, it's a good way to practice some knife skills too. I'm always looking for things to chop and dice. You guys might notice I do show some cleaning here because I do believe the cleaner the area, the more organized my mind is and the more present I can be with what I'm doing. That's why I love cooking. So we're going to want to take the cold cuts and take them out of the marinade. I just like to either lay them out onto a sheet pan here or put them in a separate container. I do want to let them air dry a little bit. This will help with flexibility, not make the sandwich too wet, and it's a great way to showcase and also store these in the fridge for later. So I made enough for about 8 huge mungo sandwiches. 8 portions of these I can get out of this amount of cold cuts. Well worth it because these are some of the most inexpensive vegetables you can get in the grocery store. And a lot of people just don't know how to use them, so bonus. Today I'm going to use the Wicked Kitchen sliced Gouda cheese we have in Tesco. It is not in the US, it's only in the UK here. I didn't have any provolone, so this works just as well, if not better. Last but not least, shred up some lettuce. I do like my lettuce shredded on my sandwiches, so this, no doubt, just saving it for last, so it's the crispest and freshest. And then we're going to start building these babies. So with the serrated knife, I slice the French bread, and I'll start to build the masterpiece. Let's assemble the sandwich. First, I'm going to fold the Capicola Swede, and then I'll be adding the celeriac pepperoni, and then the rest of the fixins. You can build your sandwich however you like. This is how I learned how to do it. I do like to keep it wide open. I will toast it in the oven. I preheated the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, so it's about 400 Fahrenheit. Quick 5 minutes in the oven. Pull that out and we'll add the rest of the ingredients fresh, and then we get to twist them up. I like building the cold cuts on one side, the cheese on the other. Pop them in the oven for that toast. I am in my happy place here. Home, alone, cooking. I love it. So I made 2 of these. 1 I'm going to eat for the camera. 2 I'm eating later for dinner. 3 this whole next day. Breakfast and lunch solved. It's amazing. Hey, did you see that editing trick? I've been practicing and learning. This is my second video I've ever edited for YouTube. The first one was the lion's mane parmesan. I usually have my friend Ira shooting things, and he lives in Arizona, so he's shooting things on his end there and editing there. And we'll have a lot more content coming out, more recipes, more videos. I enjoy doing this. It gives me time to spend with Frankie and cooking. I just have to get the hang of the whole camera work and editing bit while I'm here. Anyways, back to this amazing sandwich. Add in a little bit of pickles, the hots, the onions, the tomato, fresh lettuce. My mouth is watering again, and I have one of these in the fridge right now. All right, so see the oil? Now, this is optional. This is the only oil in the recipe, and because I'm trying to keep it authentic, I had my Italian subs with oil and vinegar, as you see here. If you're Whole Foods plant-based, no oil, you do not have to add the oil. This sandwich is next level for Whole Foods plant-based dieters. Just don't use the bread. You could use extra lettuce. It doesn't matter. I'm going for full flavor, and this is a full flavor sandwich that is freaking amazing. So, I love pickles. I love hots. I love onions. I love the tomatoes. Man, I don't think there's a vegetable I don't like. What I don't like is ketchup, and you won't see that on this sandwich. If you can hear me murmuring, it's me explaining to myself, to remind myself, to let people know you don't have to add the oil. But I am. So, look at this sandwich. It is off the charts. A little bit of salt and pepper on the top. Fantastic. I couldn't get enough shots of this. And I was so hungry, it took me all day to shoot and everything. So this was such an amazing treat, and I'm so enthusiastic and so excited about it. This is what next level vegan is. Enjoying what we used to enjoy, what I used to enjoy, except for fully plant-based. I put this in front of anybody, they're going to love it. Frankie, she gets her little treats during the making of anything. And me, I get this bad boy. And I do not have any restaurant-style parchment paper at the house, so I'm doing the best I can with what I got. And I tried taping this, as you'll see soon at the end for the next one, but it didn't work, so I had to use some rubber bands around the side. But it's a great way to store for later. And yeah, so I got 4 of these halves. Each half was like a meal. So good. You guys, thank you so much for watching along. I hope you make this. If you have any constructive criticism, feedback for me, mention it in the comments. I hope you like this. Yeah, thanks for supporting. Thanks for watching. Thanks for eating more plant-based. It's all we can do. So I hope that you're inspired to come out, create, and cook your own. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'm supposed to say that, I think. And then I'll see you in the next one. And if you haven't already, check out this other video we have, or the rest of the channel. We have a whole mushroom masterclass, a whole kids class, you guys. All right, I'm done. Appreciate you.